So today it is time to pass on my review of the Sportneer folding table. This is a product which you may have seen in some of my most recent overland adventures. I've been testing this out for numerous months and I'm ready to share my thoughts with you. So with that being said, let's get to it. So to start off here, let's take a look at what you get if you purchase one of these tables. So you get the storage bag, you get the table top, you get the frame, and you also receive a mesh hanging bag which goes underneath the table. In addition to that, you get some setup instructions and a card that states if you have any issues, they will give you a full refund or replacement. I will go ahead and set up the table for you all now, starting with the frame. As you can see, it opens up like this. And you have the cross support beams right here. And those simply lay on the opposite ends. Then you take the tabletop and you open it up. And on the inside, you can see that you have two poles. And these poles clip into place. Now, as you all can see there, maybe you saw, I had a little bit of an issue getting that to clip in. And I will come back to that in just a minute. But as of right now, it is clipped in correctly. With the mesh storage bag that clips to the bottom of the table, I would attach this, but I've had an issue where it broke. As you can see here, the clip came off and the material ripped. So this no longer attaches to the table. Sportneer claims that the weight of this table is 2.8 pounds. On my scale, it is 3 pounds. With the storage bag and the mesh bag, it is 3 pounds, 4 ounces. The cost at the time of filming is $42. The materials are a combination of aluminum, plastic, and polyester. It stands 16 inches high, and the tabletop is 22 inches by 16 inches. When it's all collapsed inside of the storage bag, it is 22 inches long by 5.9 inches by 2.4. And folks, that brings us to the review, starting with the pros. First off, when it comes to this table, the overall setup process isn't bad. There are tables out there that are much more complicated to set up than this one, but at the same time, going into the con territory, it's not perfect, right? And I will come back to this in just a second. The overall size of the table is good. It's large enough for a stove, a couple of cups, a pan, and whatnot. The weight is good. And so far, with the materials of the table, those have proven durable. This table has had no issues with my testing outside of the mesh bag, which has torn up. The weight capacity of this table is also very good at 50 pounds. And when you have this table on a flat surface, it does offer you a flat surface to put all of your items. Thanks to the aluminum top, it's an easy to clean surface. And when it's all packed up, the size is reasonable. Next up, the overall height of this table is not bad. When you have a foldable camping chair, it's at the perfect height. If you have a full-size camping chair, that's a little bit different. You are going to be higher up, and this table is somewhat low in that situation. Another pro is that the breakdown process is very quick and simple. You can easily get it inside of the bag in no time. And my last pro is this. Overall, once the table's all set up, it is sturdy. You can pick it up without the frame falling off. Now, those are the pros that I have for this table. Let's talk about the cons, because unfortunately, the list is longer. Going back to the setup, you saw there at the beginning that there was somewhat of a little hiccup that prevented me from setting this up quickly. And that's because of these crossbars. Sometimes they can be tricky to get to go into place. Now, there's a hole here and a little bit of a rise on the inside where it connects into. But you don't always hit that target. And if you're not paying attention, you're going quickly, you lay the cross member down, it may not fall into that hole, and it may not be sturdy. And it also may not connect correctly to the tabletop. When you're connecting the tabletop to the frame, it doesn't really click into place, and I wish it did. That way you would know that you really had it connected and that it was secure to the frame. The next con that I have for this table is in regards to the frame itself. The frame is so rigid that if you place this on the ground where it's not 100% flat and level, it will become tipsy. There are tables out there which flex some, which allow for you to set up in places that aren't so perfect. At a campground, no big deal. Out in the forest, in nature, it can be a problem. Next up, as I've mentioned before, I've had no issues with the materials, but the plastic here, the plastic links that connect each one of these slats does concern me because it is plastic. If there is a weak point for this table, it is this. Next, we have to talk about price, because at $42, in my opinion, this table is a little bit expensive, especially when you compare this to other offerings from other companies. This is a table that is not unique in design. Sportneer didn't necessarily come up with this, because there are other companies which have 100% the exact same design, and they could be as much as $20 cheaper than this one. Now, I haven't tested those out. The quality of those could be worse. I'm just sharing with you what I've noticed. Considering the pros and cons that I've gone over with this table, talking about the price for a second, I would feel comfortable spending about $30 for this table and no more than that. Based upon the design and the quality, $30 seems fair. And that does lead me to my final con for this table. The design is not unique. This is nothing special. There are plenty of companies who make this, and with the overall design of this table, there is room for improvement. And I think Sportneer could have re-engineered this to make it better. And that brings us to the point where I can summarize my review of this table. Overall, I like it, but I don't love it. I think it's expensive for what it is, especially when there's other companies selling what looks to be the same product for about $20 less. Again, I have to be cautious about the quality of this table. Already, the mesh bag, it tore apart, and I am concerned about the plastic pieces linking all of this together. And lastly, it's important to keep in mind the size of this table. It's 16 inches high. That is somewhat short. So you need to decide, will this work for you? And before I wrap up this episode, I want to share with you all a very funny review that I found on Amazon. Check this out. This table is legit. Use it this weekend for table dancing. I'm a traveling twerker stripper, and this table held my 200 pounds of twerking excellence with no problem. That's one of the best fake reviews that I've seen in a long time. That's awesome. All right, folks, so that's pretty much it. That's my review of the Sportneer folding table. Comment down below, share your thoughts. What do you all think? Is this worth $42? What do you all think about the quality of this table? I like it, but I don't love it, and I think there's plenty of reasons not to buy it. In my opinion, there are better tables out on the market, better camp tables, better folding tables that are less expensive, and the quality is better. That's my review. I'm sticking to it. Everyone, take care, strength and honor. Have a good one.